We've got a trade. The Knicks traded the 24th pick to the Wizards for the 26th and the 51st pick. The Wizards going to take this guy, Kyshawn George, out of Miami. He was born in Switzerland, attended high school in France, played his lone college season for the Hurricanes. 6'8", 205 pounds, possesses great size for a skilled wing. Shot 41% from beyond the arc last season. Elite on the catch and shoot three. And so the Wizards have now drafted Alex Sarr, Bub Carrington, and Kyshawn George. As the New York Knicks move down one spot, they'll be picking 25 and 26.
So the Wizards' plan is clear, and I think this is a trend late in the first round, too, is that you're seeing, in recent years, you saw a lot of plug-and-play guys go at the end of the first round. This year, you're seeing teams take shots. They're trying to find the guys. They're back to taking upside plays, and that's what the Wizards have done, really, with all three picks. And this latest pick is a late bloomer who has really sprouted up late. He's really smooth, and he can shoot the ball. So there are high upside outcomes, but here's the thing that concerns me. He's never produced, never at all. And we're talking about 7 points per game on a bad Miami team that was dysfunctional at times, quite frankly. I mean, he couldn't even be a standout in that setting. We're not talking about a guy who played on a winning team and contributed with 7 points per game. So, again, this is a bet in upside, and this is more of an idea than it is a ready player. But in Washington, they've got time to develop him.
Tell me if you notice any pattern here. Like you mentioned, late bloomer. Carrington also late bloomer.
Yeah.
Guards with size who can theoretically shoot the ball from the perimeter. That might be what they're looking for. And this is where I think your current circumstances dictate the way I feel about what you're doing in this range of the draft. With Milwaukee, I don't like them taking a swing on a high upside guy because I want you trying to win the East next year and theoretically getting somebody who can help you next season. Your Washington, they're a long ways away from being anything.
Makes more sense for them.
It makes more sense for them to do things like this.
And teams like Washington, guys, let's call it what it is. They're not going to make the playoffs for the next 2 years.
Sure.
All right? I can predict that very
They're 2 years away from being 2 years away.
Right.
Yeah, right.
So this is one of those moves. This guy, you know, when you look at Kyshawn George, he's basically Evan Turner with a little bit of a better jump shot. You know, he only had 3 dunks last year, so he's not very athletic. But he's a big guard, similar to like a Kyle Anderson, that type of size. He came on a little bit at the end of the year, but again, he just only averaged 7.7 points a game. It's not like he was on that Miami team that went to the Final Four 2 years ago. So we'll see. I just think they're taking a shot here, and probably they see something that a lot of people just don't see in terms of the upside of this young man.
They missed the playoffs for a 3rd straight season this past year. To me, the Washington Wizards are an in-the-way team. I'm just going to say it. I don't know what they're doing. They have a new head coach. They're just taking swings and misses. Look, I covered that team for 5 seasons in Washington, D.C. They had a great roster there. I'm not really sure what they're doing right now. I'm just getting from a fan's perspective. I don't really know what that team is. I don't know what their identity is.
You are
taking
fed up with Cleveland. You're fed up with Washington.
You know, I mean, somebody's got to give D-minuses on here on this set. You know,
the host has turned into the grade giver.
With the 25th pick, the New York Knicks are selecting.
For the rest of the night, you're getting us in and out of breaks. You're doing the grades. Let's mix this up a little bit.
All right, what are the Knicks doing here?
You need some coffee.
No, I don't. I just want to be realistic.
Why because you so mad,
some of these players, like I see the players on the board, and I'm just like, why not take this guy to help? And I get it. Like
they
there's
don't want
need.
To win.
They just thank. See?
They don't want to win right now, but they don't. That's roster building in the NBA.
I know.
That you'd rather be bad than mediocre.
I know.
That's the way it works.
But then what? You're getting rewarded with guys that are taking swing and misses, though, right?
Well, we don't know if it's a miss.
We don't know that they're swing and misses yet. Right now, they're just swings. The whole is it a hit or a miss? That comes later.
I feel like when I hang up this draft order in the newsroom, which I also like called the resource room, I feel like I'm going to look down and go, who did Milwaukee take? Oh, that guy doesn't even play. Like that's what I feel like is going to happen. AJ, right?
You got
right. I'm just saying.
You got a lot of G League players.
That's right. I'm going to look on them and go, this guy. Oh, is that guy? No, he's not even playing.
And sometimes it works out. Last year, the Mavericks benched their entire starters for the last 2 regular season games. That led to Derek Lively. It worked out pretty good.
And you know, in fairness, just in the context of this conversation, you know what Derek Lively was? A big swing. You know, I mean, I know he was a heralded high school prospect, but he wasn't the most productive guy at Duke in that 1 year of college. But they saw that he could do some things really, really well, and that worked out okay.
All right, what are we doing here with the Knicks? They got back-to-back picks. What do you want to see from them, Adam Finkelstein? Because this is a big spot for them. They acquire Mikal Bridges. They re-sign OG Anunoby. This is a roster that's ready to win right now.
And this is a team that had accumulated a ton of draft assets, and they gave up a lot of them last night.
They did.
So I think what you've seen them do is they had 24. They moved off it. They're trying to replenish their draft assets, and that is good management there. So we're going to assume that they have a certain player that they've targeted at now 25 that they knew they were going to be able to get and still trade off the pick. That's smart as they replenish those assets. But again, this is a team now, the Villanova Knicks. They're going all in on Jalen Brunson being their primary star. They've got Mikal Bridges, who's going to be apparently the #2 guy. OG Anunoby's back. We think they're going to lose one of those two centers, whether it's not being able to sign Hartenstein or making a move to allow him to be the starting center. But things are shaping up there for this team. And I think what you're seeing them do is, like I said, just trying to replenish their draft assets as best they can because they spent a lot of draft capital in last night's move.
When we return, the Knicks pick is in. Here we go. What are they going to do at 24 and 25? Excuse me, 25 and 26. The first pick is in here of their back-to-back picks. We're back to break it down here on CBS Sports HQ, presented by Jeep.